9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Happy Wednesday, all my good people, and welcome to another edition of WWT Live as part of Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. They call me the professor around these parts. I am Gerard Bonner, GB, whatever you feel like calling me. It's good to be back with you guys. It feels like it's been a minute, and it's not on you, it's on me. Been doing a little bit of traveling, but we are back in the saddle with plenty to talk about. I probably should have titled this, and I thought about it literally as the intro was on, 19 days, because that's the number you need to keep in mind. 19 days. That'll make sense in about 5 minutes. But in the meantime, I am not alone.
It's Councilman Pharaoh of Strattonville with his Parisiac constituents.
The elected official is in the building. Councilman, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Professor. Great to have you back. And I just wanted to let it be known on WWT that I am a huge fan of chicken wings. And we should get this sponsored by Wingstop.
Wingstop.
We like chicken wings over here.
That's okay. I'm sure there's some piece of this that I'm missing that I'm just gonna let.
If you a guy, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
wrestling
boy.
wise. We love chicken wings over here.
Yeah. Okay. I feel bad because I don't know, and I feel like there's this looming joke.
No, it's on WhatsApp. It's on if they said it.
Oh, okay. I need to go back and look at that.
Yeah, if you've seen the
Jack
Parker clip,
I need to go back and look at that.
We love chicken.
But welcome. Thank you, sir. It is good to be back. It is good to be back. There's a good joke I have, but I'll try to save it and be good. It's the giving season. So with all of that said, the sweetest Zeus.
It's the Queen Bee of WWT, Wrestling with Honey with
Honey Pop Predictions.
Honey's in the building.
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Hey.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. How are you?
I'm doing well. I must say, there's a couple of things that I'm learning about my tag team partner here that, we have our differences here and there. There might be maybe like 2 things we don't agree on.
Okay.
Bret Hart and wings. I'm more of a Buffalo Wild Wings kind of girl myself.
As opposed to Wingstop.
As opposed to Wingstop. So I'm on the opposite side of the fence. I love wings though. Period.
I listen. I don't care where Jada Parker go get these wings. Just know.
Wait. Oh, I just. Oh,
we like wings over here. We got wings over here.
I just got it. Oh,
there it is.
And
there it is.
Oh,
it's when it clicks that it's all working.
No, you didn't.
It's all working when it clicks in Professor's face.
No, you didn't.
Wings,
man. Man. Oh, wow.
We like wings around here.
Wow. Okay. I have to try to gather myself. This is right. The start of the show. Wow. Okay.
Councilman.
Oh man.
Seeing Professor's reaction to that whole thing was absolute pure
cinema. It was everything. It made it all work. 4 minutes in. 4 minutes in.
Oh man.
Oh, it was great. It was everything I needed it to be.
Oh man. Let me try to wow. Hi Lewis, how are you? Cindy, good to see you. Honey, better have a new intro. Bobby, good to see you. Eric, welcome aboard. Dylan, good day. Special nobodies, good to see you. Oh man. JD, what's up, guy? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Well, there's plenty to talk about. Man. Okay. Well, all right. Let's talk about the brand new era of WWE, which we are on the road there with the huge kickoff that happened today at WWE headquarters. It was the official kickoff for Raw on Netflix. This was streamed live from the WWE headquarters, which that in itself is news, because the old headquarters fans could not get in at all. I tried. You can't. And so I'll tell you that story. Just indulge me. This is a quick story. My brother and I, we were on our way to visit a friend in New Haven, Connecticut. And if you've ever driven on I-95 from New York, you will pass the old WWE Titan Towers. It is literally right there. So we got off the exit, parked across the street, went to go in, and the door was locked. And I mean, it was during business hours. They didn't play that. They did not let fans in no matter what. So this is part of the new era. Of course, it is a brand new building that they have. It's much larger to accommodate more fans. But yeah, the fact that they were doing a big giant press conference and the kickoff from there is very, very special. And cousin Ron, it was Brendan, not Justin. Yes, I just said both of their names on this whole thing. Neither of them will probably watch to know, but yeah, it was a fun time. But congratulations to everybody who was able to go. From what I've heard, it was limited in terms of how many people they could get in there, understandably, and you can imagine far more people showed up than could actually get in. But it was a big deal. Lots of things coming from there. A couple of pieces of news that we can tell you about. And when this piece of news dropped, honey, I immediately thought of you. When we found out a brand new signee to Monday Night Raw, former U.S. champion Logan Paul has switched from the blue brand to the red brand. And we'll dig into some more things. But while we're here, also in this picture, of course, is Triple H. And Triple H has said that once Raw goes to Netflix, this is now the official start to the road to WrestleMania. It's one thing he said. The other thing he said is we're going to see some things that we've never seen before. What are your thoughts on these comments from Triple H, where basically Raw on Netflix is kind of kicking off, in his words, a brand new era of WWE?
Before we get dark, I'm a tad bit confused.
Okay.
Didn't he retire?
Apparently not.
He put out a whole thing, said he retired. He's a daddy now.
Well, it's a wrestling retirement. Wrestlers never really retire.
You really bought that?
I don't like being lied to by I don't like that. I don't know how I feel about that. I hope Kevin Owens kicked the crap out of that prime bottle all 2025. Now, since and now he on Raw.
He will be on
Monday nights.
No, I'm glad. Keep him. Tired of seeing him on Honey Night SmackDown.
I was okay.
Bring him over to Monday Night. Bring him over there.
Not my Monday Night Raw. What?
That's great. That's great. That's great.
God.
So, yeah. So, any idea what Triple H could be talking about in terms of this being a new era of WWE?
I don't know. After NXT last night, though, it kind of started there. If we will get into that for sure. Yeah.
Like whatever at this point, Triple H, whatever you say, I believe you. I get it. I believe you. I'm just gonna wait and see. I'm not gonna complain. I'm gonna critique. I'm just gonna look forward to it because you're hyping me up. You're hyping me up. I'm getting gassed over here. Like I'm just like, what the hell are we getting ourselves into next year?
Because there's so much I'm looking for. Like we saw the new logo, but then I was thinking today was like, will the set change too? Because I'm like, I know they did this to bring more people in, but
how they film it.
Yeah, I'm like, this Netflix. Like, so now what is this gonna look like? And just with having folks like Uncle Howdy in them, like, do we get more cinema? Are we setting up for more of a theatrical feel to it, especially like what would happen with Tuesday? So it's like, if Tuesday was any inclination of like, if that's just this much of what's gonna go on Raw, we are in for quite a year.
Yeah, I think
I'm scared, guys. I'm kind of scared.
You
know, it is. I think you can always get an indicator of how big something is based on what people are saying, based on how WWE is treating this. And they are treating this is, I'll say this, for all that happened when SmackDown moved to Fox, they didn't treat it like this.
No.
They had a nice little premiere the night of. They did work to make it a pretty solid show, had a world title match on that opening night. But what's happening here is far different than what we're seeing, what we saw for SmackDown. So that's pretty interesting. We also learned that there will be a change at the commentary booth. So currently you have Joe Tessitore and you have Wade Barrett. Come Monday night, January 6th, Michael Cole returns to Raw and will be joined by Pat McAfee. Now, I don't know what that means, if that means that we go to a 3-man booth on SmackDown to include Tessitore, Wade Barrett, and then Corey Graves. I don't know if they keep a 2-man booth and one of those 3 men are out. I'm not sure. But that will be interesting to see how that goes down. Again, 3 weeks time or 19 days, we'll find out. And actually, I don't know if they'll make the change prior to January 6th, because of course there's a live episode of SmackDown January 3rd,
right?
And so we'll get some idea
there. This is like some when did the wrestling god version of Thanos snap his finger? Because I just feel like everything's happening all at once, and I just don't know where we're going. Like, it's just nuts. And I love this is what makes it feel like the way it used to, minus all the internet and social media stuff that we have going on nowadays. Like, kids, you don't know. Like, this is what builds real anticipation, and this is what gets you really watching, because all you can do is just wait and see. Forget spoilers. Who gives a damn?
Yeah. And I don't think they're going to really be able to spoil this Raw and Netflix situation.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so. And that's actually a very good thing. It's a good thing. Now, one of the other things that we saw that I found quite intriguing is Kevin Owens interrupting this event, holding the Wing Championship, calling himself the new WWE champion with no Cody Rhodes to be found. What a crazy moment this is. And Kevin Owens is unhinged.
This is quite a picture. Like, this is a picture for the history books, okay? Kevin Owens holding the winged belt. Man, who'd have thought?
It just shows how mediocre it really was. As I look at it. The more I see it, I'm like, this is not
Councilman, it's the middle of the week. I'm not going there.
Wow.
Oh yeah, you missed that. I definitely said the wing belt is, because she asked what was better, the World Heavyweight Championship or
it was just a question I posed to everybody. I was like, big gold or the winged eagle? I said winged eagle.
I said you only like this because you like eagles, because that's what we was programmed to
That's not true.
You can't even see the details of this championship. All you see is the wing sticking out. That's why it's called the wing belt.
Wow.
Wow. Only Bret Hart made this belt look good, and now Kevin Owens as well. When I saw it on Yokozuna, that's when I could not take this belt seriously.
Wow.
So yeah, this is what we've been dealing with the last week.
Wow. Side note, Cindy-o, that's all I'll say. CM Punk was also there, and Punk had quite the encounter with Seth Rollins. But before we do that, there was an encounter, of course, involving Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, and we found out that their world title match will happen on January 6th. So again, a very, very big night. And we also, of course, know that the main event, from what we are told, is indeed CM Punk and Seth Rollins, which will make for a very, very big night. I thought we would see this match perhaps at Royal Rumble or maybe even at WrestleMania. But I guess the fact that it's going on live on Netflix for Raw tells you how big this Netflix show is going to be. What we know so far is CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. We know the women's world title match. We also know there's going to be tribal combat, Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. This should tell you how big Raw on Netflix is going to be.
Netflix basically got their own WrestleMania.
Pretty much.
Every week. If the card, I mean, this is the first one. So obviously you got to go big or go home. But what else are they going to do?
This
What
the main event?
This is the main event. Listed as the main event.
We ain't getting the match. We're not getting the match. We're not getting the match.
You think it's gonna be like just a brawl out?
Yeah, we not finna get a full match.
And then they're gonna do it at Rumble.
Yeah. If this the main one,
we're like going for anyway. What we thought would happen, you know?
Yeah, we're not finna get one. It's gonna build to lead to it though. Yeah.
Well, maybe we could get to Hell in a Cell by Royal Rumble.
Oh no!
Are they?
That's only a month. That's only a month away.
Yeah,
it's only a month away. While we are here, we are joined, of course, by yet another elected official. The mayor is in the building. How are you, sir?
Doing well. How's everybody doing?
We are doing well, kind sir. We are doing well. CM Punk, Seth Rollins, the main event, live on Netflix. By the way, while we are here. Now, let's see. Mackenzie says Roman versus Solo should be the main event.
I don't think so. Just because
they don't need it anymore.
And he's not, and they're not on Raw. So it's like you don't want to end it with people who are on another show that's not going to be there next week.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I would dare say that as big of a story as that is, Punk versus Seth, we've been waiting for a much longer period of time. So I think
11 years.
Yeah,
Professor, do you think they're gonna have wings there at Monday Night Raw? Because you know me, I'm a fan of wings now.
So this past Monday night, we had brand new tag team champions crowned, the War Raiders, to become the brand new tag team champions, defeating the Judgment Day, and we now can look at perhaps a rebirth in the tag team division. I know a lot of people had issues with the Judgment Day being the tag team champion, something to the tune of 175 days and 3 title reigns. But here we are, the War Raiders, brand new tag team champions, and they left the Judgment Day looking like this.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty cool. Ced, what are your thoughts on the War Raiders becoming the new tag team champions?
I guess a little bit of a tearjerker. This was kind of their moment since being called up. I mean, they both battled some very serious career-threatening injuries. We saw that in the promos earlier in the evening, and this was kind of like crowning them again, a rebirth, if you will, from going through all like the Viking Prophets, Viking Raiders stuff, kind of having to do just the Stone Age Viking gimmick. Now they're back to who they were packaged as in NXT. And they kind of get to run with that gimmick after pretty much not realizing that they were going to even come back and wrestle again. I think Eric had a very serious spinal neck injury that really threatened his career. So this is kind of their moment. And we get to see what it was like when they first got called up as the War Raiders, also as champions. So they get to make this tag team division theirs.
What are your thoughts there, honey?
Oh, I'm excited for this. I love this. This is basically another run it back situation for Triple H, just taking care of his black and gold NXT babies. And honestly, they deserve it with everything that they've gone through and transpired within the last year. Also, you know, throughout the years of all the work they put in, finally being able to acknowledge them as main event tag team players on this roster. And they're veterans. They're technically the veterans. In this rate, I look forward to seeing more work with them, because honestly, with all the surgeries and everything and injuries they've had, you never know how many runs you have left in you. So take this one and run with it, literally. Shout outs to the War Raiders, finally.
For sure.
More Viking Raiders.
For sure.
Nah, JD, they had the red belts before as well. They were Raw tag team champions as well.
Yeah, they were. It's been a while, but yeah, not the first time. Councilman, let me ask you this. What do you think this does for the tag team division to have the War Raiders now atop the division in Raw?
Hopefully it sparks what we've been seeing over at NXT and what we're starting to see formed over on SmackDown, giving more room to the tag team division. And I think just with the way these guys perform, like the War Raiders, I've never seen the War Raiders in a bad match, if I'm just being honest. Like, to see what these guys can do, to see what these guys have put on, it's incredible. And I think that's going to just put the bar up high for folks like the Creed brothers, even Alpha Academy, even final, Judgment Day, if JD and Finn aren't going to break up. But I'm hoping that it does spark to have a dope tag team division like I'm seeing on these other two programs. And I think this was the start of it. And I'm so glad it was the main event.
Yes.
Raw 2. Was not expecting that, but very glad that happened.
Don't forget Rey Mysterio
Made
and
my
Dragon
balls
Lee
itch.
in the tag team division.
What just happened?
Oh my God.
I don't know what just happened either.
I don't know.
I was trying to advocate for another tag team here in Ray and Dragon. And
did you just upload it not knowing it was going to automatically play?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I didn't do anything. I swear.
You're the only one with this clip. The only one.
That's Dylan.
Oh,
wow.
Yes,
wow.
it's a phrase I have for graphics. I'm very particular with graphics. It's something I normally don't say on camera, and it came out when we were talking about the Raw logo. And Dylan happened to clip it.
He always happens to clip
But
it.
yes. Again, some things I just don't say on camera, and that line was one of them. It just slipped out talking about logos.
Well, aren't you glad that wasn't the logo? Or are you talking about the actual logo? You're talking about
no. We're talking
no.
The one that they originally was saying gonna be the Raw logo. I was like, well, I like that one. This new one though, so happy. Looks
it's nice and clean.
Yeah,
it's nice and clean.
But shout out to the War Raiders for being the tag team champions.
Indeed, indeed. Now then, also on Monday Night Raw, this showed up. And so obviously it hasn't been since, quite frankly, the Wyatt 6 that we started to have mysterious videos appear. But this mysterious video has indeed appeared on WWE television. We don't have a date. We don't have specific music. We have this, and there are people who are rumoring what it could be, but I want to get your thoughts on what it actually is. What do you think this is, Ced?
A lot of people are speculating Penta, and I actually hope it's not that, because I hope that we get some resolution on the AEW side with Rey Fenix's contract, because I think it was rumored that both would be a part of the main roster. Now, we know Penta doesn't need that NXT stint, but you never know. You never know. An NXT tag division, while still growing, could probably use that. I hope it's a curveball. While people think it's like Penta, I hope it's somebody like... That's funny, right? To censor. That would be great.
Oh my
I hope,
God.
As they go into Netflix. That's hilarious.
Right?
I don't know. I hope it's like if it's a debuting superstar, like we still don't know what's happening with Hikuleo, or like I hope it has something to do with like Alexa Bliss and the Lily stuff. I hope it's be something like that.
I miss that girl. Ooh, I can't wait till she goes back. I didn't even think of that.
As I say, what other ideas could there be out there for this Zero?
Dang, it's so. What's so funny is if Uncle Howdy or the Wyatt Six weren't involved, this is what I would have initially thought. But we're way past that now. But I mean, a lot of people are saying that this is definitely Penta. A lot of people are like really hell-bent in believing that it's literally him, but you still never know. They could completely swerve us with anybody else. And any of those names that you guys just said, that would be pretty cool. I honestly can't think of anybody else. No.
Well, here's the issue with Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is actually slated to be in the main event of the next TNA pay-per-view, which is Genesis, and that's happening like January 16th or something like that. So I don't know that it's him.
You just gotta believe, Professor. You just gotta believe. That means zero doubt. That's what that means.
Zero. Okay.
He wrote down.
Let's see. These folks are. It's 100% penta. I rarely ever say something is 100% in the world of wrestling because anything can change. I remember, and I'm pretty sure some people don't remember this. I believe the year was 2011, maybe. No, I think it was 2011. It might have been 2012. These commercials started playing on WWE, and it looked like it was Sting. And I mean, like the door was opening, it was raining outside, like you'd see the black boots. It certainly appeared to be that. And something happened somewhere, and it went from Sting to being the Undertaker. Now, I'm not saying that this Zero is the Undertaker. I'm saying it could be a lot of people. And let's consider one thing that nobody's talking about. You mentioned Joe Hendry. There are a lot of departures right now from TNA. And so they could use the Zero for almost anything. They could use it for Speedball Mike Bailey. You know, you talk about No Limits, the X Division, that type of thing could be a thing for him. There are options, lots of options. Now, we know Kushida is going, of course, back to New Japan, but, you know, I don't know that Rhino would be coming over anytime soon. AJ Francis is going to be on the market. I mean, there are all sorts of options. I would say that I'll say a couple of things. Thing number one, much to a point that you made earlier, honey, this is one of the not so fun moments in our current way of consuming pro wrestling, because all of a sudden everybody immediately swears that they have the answer, and it may or may not be what you think it is. It doesn't leave the fun room for the guessing game, and that's half the fun of pro wrestling is trying to guess who's who in the zoo. So let me ask this:
be upset if it wasn't Penta?
Well,
I mean, we literally
I was
don't
going
know.
there.
Like,
Yeah.
We don't know.
Because I was going to ask too, like, who haven't we seen in a while that could utilize a rebranding with like something like this?
I got the perfect name for this. You ready?
I got a name.
Goldberg?
Almost.
Yeah.
Oh.
You have not seen him on TV in almost a year. He's been getting a lot of good talk, and there's the O.
I'd be there for that. I would be there for that.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
And now in the colors he come out into, like,
sure.
Yep.
He could use a rebrand. That's not a far-fetched thing to do at all. He's had time to become a killer. Yeah. And you bring him in, let him do it right. That's one of those people that you see on Netflix you don't forget.
Definitely.
I like that. I like that one a lot.
Yeah. And he is technically still a free agent, so he can go anywhere.
Yeah, he can.
He's still there. So that wouldn't be hard to do at all.
Yo,
what was his last match?
Don't say what if it's who?
What if it's Brock?
No.
That would be shocking.
That would be very shocking. I was gonna say Elias.
But then what would this mean? Because it does.
Yeah.
Well, and we need a good explanation for that. I'm for the explanation if it makes sense.
Absolutely, it has to make sense.
You know?
But this literally could be anybody. I mean, look at how quick we were pointing. A lot of us were pointing fingers at when the War Raider symbol came up before they came back. Everybody thought that was Rey Fenix and Penta right away.
Sure.
So, and it was somebody completely different. So you never know. They could be doing this to us again.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there a woman in mind that we think this might be for? I know Honey said Alexa Bliss, but is there someone on the women's division that we think may be able to use this?
It depends on how they want to package or repackage Jordan Grace.
Yeah. I could also see Becky Lynch.
Yes, those colors specifically. Yes,
absolutely. And then starting back from zero and going back.
Yeah. Ooh, the possibilities are endless. Yeah. They are endless.
But I'm with the Omos. That's when I think I'm gonna punch my ticket for that one. Which
you know what I can't stand about this symbol though. I'm looking at it and it's like, it's so like striking, like it captures your attention, but it's so simple.
Yes.
And it's like, you don't know who this could be at all. There's no kind of indication, but you can make, like, as we just did, 1,000 assumptions as to who this could be.
Right. This is interesting. Let's see. Trish did say she's coming back next year. What about Trish? I don't know. I don't know that they need this to lead up to Trish.
Nah, her stuff could just, as soon as you hear the laugh play on the entrance music,
She just shows up.
People go crazy.
Yeah.
They go crazy. So we will pay attention. We don't know when we'll get this revealed. I imagine it wouldn't be in the next 2 weeks with holidays coming and the like, but we'll see. We'll see.
Speaking of
Now,
Trish, happy birthday, Trish.
Yes, indeed. Happy birthday to Trish. Now, this is a pretty important piece of news. There's a brand new movie we had been talking about a little while ago. It's called Queen of the Ring. It takes a look at the life and times of Mildred Burke. Mildred Burke, of course, the NWA Women's World Championship is named after her. And she is the first $1 million female athlete and longest reigning champion prior to, of course, the fabulous Moolah. So this is an interesting look at the battle for women's wrestling in the 40s and 50s. It's a lot of wonderful people connected to this particular movie. Jim Ross is one of the executive producers of this movie. And in terms of names that you'd be familiar with from the world of wrestling, quite a few. Now, you've got Emily Bett Rickards, who's playing Mildred Burke. But some of the names that you will likely know, one, Camille. She is in here playing the role of June Byers. You have Toni Storm is in this movie. Toni is playing, I forgot which role Toni's playing. I'll tell you that in a second. Britt Baker's in this movie, and she's playing the role of Debbie Nichols. You also have Trinity. Trinity Fatu is in here playing Ethel Johnson. Ethel Johnson, a very significant African-American women's wrestler. In fact, you could make the argument 3 of the trend-setting women's wrestlers, African-American women's wrestlers, are represented in this movie. Ethel Johnson, as I mentioned, played by Trinity Fatu. Marva Scott is played by Cameron Jackson. And then you also have, and I'm really excited about this, Babs Wingo, who is played by Damaris Lewis. Interestingly enough, Jim Cornette is in this movie, and he is playing the NWA commissioner. So, yeah, there's a lot of significant names in this movie, and Toni Storm is playing Clara Mortensen. So congratulations to all of the people that are involved in this movie. You will be able to see Queen of the Ring as it hits movie theaters. March the 7th is the date for that.
And the trailer is right now, if you want to
see the trailer is available right now, so you can check that out. How exciting this is. Again, a movie about all that's happening here with women's wrestling.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was going to say, this is really cool because you never really see movies like this, like at all, like especially highlighting like women in wrestling, because that's not, I don't think we've really seen that before, you know, like I think this is really cool representation to seeing how women's wrestling was initiated and how, like, the beginning, the nitty gritty, how it started. It's kind of like how they did A League of Their Own with the women's baseball, for my movie buffs out there.
Yeah. And shout out. Good. I was just gonna say, and even shout out to the connections that they keep putting that's already been in place. Like Emil Bett used to play on Arrow with Stephen Amell, and she was his love interest. So to see like him already in the wrestling thing, Cody Rhodes being featured in there, and to see that kind of rub off there, and now we're seeing another person from that show, with another chapter into wrestling's history. It's just really cool to see.
Yeah, I think when you start seeing movies about the business, it tells you how popular the business really is. I mean, think about it. It was just a year or so ago, maybe 2 years tops, that we had that Von Erich movie that hit movie theaters and the like. So again, when these movies aren't just, you know, going straight to streaming services and they're instead going to the box office, that is a really, really big deal. And when they are based on a true story, it really gives you the opportunity to learn about it. And so a good portion, I would dare say a good 60-70% of wrestling fans today were nowhere near alive during this era where women's wrestling. And so if you think about all that women's wrestling has had to go through in modern day, can you imagine how much they went through in the 1930s when women didn't even have the right to vote?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a pretty incredible situation to look at. So again, Mae Young is represented in this movie, as is Mildred Burke and so many other women's wrestling greats. Again, March the 7th. And if I know TK like I do, if she's not already on it, she'll probably be trying to either land an interview or some sort of connection to this movie. And it would only make sense given the brand. So
Watch
if
the
she hasn't, yeah, watch the trailer by all means.
Yeah, it'll bring you into it. Like there's a lot of stuff you see in there where you like you said, if we saw what the women went through today. So like watching that on there, it's like, yo, we'll get you hooked. Like I'll go see it in theaters after.
Right. Totally agree. So again, March the 7th is the date where Queen of the Ring will be in movie theaters nationwide. All right. So we're going to get into the NXT conversation. But before we do that, it's important to know that you can now vote for the NXT Year-End Awards. You can do that at WWE.com. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to just talk about some of the nominees. There are 6 categories. Categories include Male Superstar of the Year, Female Superstar of the Year, Tag Team of the Year, Moment of the Year, Match of the Year, and PLE/Show of the Year. So, would you guys like to have a little fun?
Let's do that.
Let's have a little fun talking about NXT. All right, let's start with PLE Show of the Year, and then we'll work our way up.
Hey, that's the hardest one.
Oh, is it the hardest one? Okay, well, I'll go back. We'll go back. We'll go back.
No. Go ahead, because I ain't like I gotta go first. I gotta think.
All right, here. Oh, there are quite a few of them.
I'm biased.
There are quite a few of them. All right, so let's go for it. The nominees for PLE Show of the Year. Again, this is NXT. The nominees are New Year's Evil, Vengeance Day, Roadblock, Stand and Deliver, Spring Break-In, Battleground, Great American Bash, Heat Wave, No Mercy, Halloween Havoc, NXT 2300, and Deadline.
Okay, this is crazy. How, like, y'all can't just break it down to like 3? You're gonna give us the whole
they gave you all of them. Yep.
Oh, okay.
I just submitted my vote.
Okay.
And for me, it's Battleground. 1, because I was there. 2, because of the intimacy of the ambiance in the UFC Apex. We crowned our inaugural United States Women's Champion there.
We had North American champion.
North American champion there with Kalani Jordan in the first ladder match. Just a great ambiance. It was very close-knit. I think that was Trick versus Ethan Page 1.
Yes.
Yeah, that was when Ethan first jumped on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be my vote. Just because they packed that arena out, it was very close knit. Everything was shot very well. So I got to go with Battleground.
Okay.
And I didn't even bring up my personal reasons, which you guys know.
Which
that,
yes,
that former UFC fighter that still sleep. But yeah.
Okay. Honey.
I'm gonna have to say, I mean, I would say Stand and Deliver because I was there, but I don't want to be biased. So
you can.
I mean, I'm making a legit decision. I think, honestly, judging by where we were, like, because I'm just thinking of how the way the year went. I think around Heat Wave was really, really fun because it was like on the cusp of like when SummerSlam was coming on in, and you know, Pop Rock City was definitely heating things up over the summer. So I think we had a lot of fun over the summer for Heat Wave. Heat Wave, I think I'm gonna have to go Heat Wave.
Okay. Councilman?
Well, you know, she said sometimes we be off on 2 things like Bret Hart and this wing belt, but we are definitely on the same page of PLE. I think Heat Wave was probably their best PLE. When Oba threw Wesley in the air.
Yes.
I was like, yo, that's up there with moment of the year. But like you said, Pop Rock City, It was a great, like, I feel like that was
five pop rocks she did.
five
I
pop
believe it
rocks.
was.
But it felt like right there, that was the spark of us knowing, like, yo, NXT is about to really catapult off into something great. And I think Heat Wave was like really what culminated a lot of that. It got people eyes on it.
So I will say, since they're doing like show and PLE, I am surprised that the NXT debut on CW is not on this list, because that would probably top it for me. I mean, Roxanne and Julia, you that started it. You had Trick winning the title back. You had the start of the war with Lola Vice and Jada Parker. You had a number of moments. But since we didn't do that, I'm gonna go with NXT 2300. For one, the historic nature of the venue itself, NXT doing things in the ECW arena, we would have never imagined it happening. Again, the 10-woman tag that ended the night, which reminded us just how great the women's division really is. And then, of course, in there, Lola versus Jada. Jada hits her with the brick. You have the reunion of the Dudley boys. You've got a rhino spear and all of that. Pretty cool moments there from 2300. But
wait, it's not just PLEs, it was shows too?
Yeah, it said best PLE show of the year.
Oh,
yeah. So that's why 2300 was in there, and that's why I was surprised that the debut wasn't in there. All right, well, let's continue on. Let's. Ooh, I don't know which. All right, I'll go moment of the year. We'll go moment of the year. Okay.
These options is
moment
crazy.
of the year.
These
These options are nuts. So here we go. Tyrese Halliburton cuts down the Orlando crowd. Jada Parker smashing a brick on Lola Vice, ECW arena. Carmelo Hayes turning on Trick Williams at Vengeance Day. Wow. Trick Williams winning his first NXT title, NXT Spring Break-In. Oh, wow. Joe Hendry in NXT.
Hello.
That's it.
Ethan Page
wait,
falls into winning the NXT title at Heat Wave. Golly. Wesley turning on Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel. Julia's debut. The NXT launch of the CW. The 10-woman tag on ECW. And Chase University's calendar sales, saving Chase U from going bankrupt.
If you said at closing, that would have been my pick. When it had to close, should be up there.
Yeah, that would have been just to be funny. But if I had to go, all right, I was stuck between two, but I did vote on one. Joe Hendry in NXT was like Joe Hendry in the whole year was just hot the whole year. But ECW in the ECW arena, the 10-woman tag team match, and the women that were in that match, I think that would have to take the cake.
Okay.
That was a hell of a poster.
Yeah.
Hell of a poster.
Yeah. Okay. Said moment of the year.
I just voted, and I voted for the Joe Hendry just because I remember how much that killed the social game.
Yeah,
like it stopped time for a minute just because of the presentation on the heels of everything he was doing with the iTunes song and everything. The Ethan Page title win was close to me just because of how shocking it was. He didn't pick up a normal pinfall. He was knocked out and got a cover. So, but the Joe Hendry thing like dominated social media for more than a week. People were playing that entrance for weeks.
This is what I see. First thing I open my phone, it's Joe Hendry with a post on Instagram that says, I would wonder what would happen next if I win moment of the year. Internet, do your thing.
Wow. Councilman.
Yo, say his name and he appears. When it dropped, that camera shook and all of them people was singing that song. Yo.
It was that moment, and it was at that moment that we all said, bye, Trick.
Yep. That was it. And that we can't wait to see
we
him
love you, Trick.
Drop Royal Rumble. Like I can't wait to hear that song, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania.
Number 30. Number 30.
Look, hey, that's why I was like, no disrespect. It's like the 10 women tag team definitely comes in there. I would give that almost match of the year if they had that category. But when that Joe Hendry, just the way like to Mayor's point, the way it blew everything up, the way all of us were just like,
We were just feeling that Joe Hendry fever. Remember what I told you? I went to the meet and greet. I mentioned it to him too. I was trying to, I was digging a little bit, but I was like, I've been having some chats with my friends, and we think you should appear at the Rumble. And he looks at his friend and he goes, "Oh, the Rumble, hey, well, you never know, I'm like, we see you, Joe Hendry.
We do. Well, you said match of the year. So let's talk about match of the year for NXT. Here are the nominees. Boy, oh boy.
Professor, did you say your moment?
I'm torn, but I may have to go with Joe Hendry. I mean, it was just such a massive moment. Over 7 million views. It's crazy. All right. Match of the year. Ilya Dragunov versus Trick Williams for the NXT title.
This is wild.
Obafemi versus Josh Briggs versus Dijak for the North American title at Stand and Deliver.
That was good.
Nathan Frazier and Axiom versus Chase U for the NXT tag titles at Heatwave. Roxanne Perez versus Thea Hale at Great American Bash Week 1. The Women's Iron Survivor Challenge at Deadline. Kaylani Jordan versus Sol Ruka for the North American Championship at Heatwave.
That's 2 for Heatwave on this category.
That is 2. That's actually 3 for Heatwave.
Oh, well, 3.
No,
yeah.
No, it's 2. It's 2. It's 2. They wrote something wrong. It's 2. But 2 out of 6 is crazy. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I went biased on this one. Obafemi, Josh Briggs, and Dijak was something crazy to see live and witness that close. That was a wild match. I don't think anybody expected that match to be that good either. There was a lot of other great matches on here. I was really torn between the Stand and Deliver or Sol Ruka and Kaylani, a Heatwave. But I got that triple threat match was so good. It was way too good. And I'm just like, I was there.
Okay. Councilman.
First, I just want to say I appreciate Roxanne's best match not being in here. Thea Hale is definitely top 10, but a very hard comptroller is 8 in that 10. I just want that to be made very clear. I don't know who made this list, but apparently they are not a Parisiac and will not be getting a Christmas card this year. But if I'm going to vote for any of these on here, as much as I like the triple threat, I'm not going to lie. I can go back and watch Kalani Jordan versus Sol Ruka over and over again. That is one of the matches I'm just like, yo, somehow please get them back in the ring with one another. That was great. I think that was her first title defense though, right?
I believe it was.
Yes.
My God. Like, yo, I don't want to do the comparison thing, but like Ricochet, Ospreay, if there was in a universe where they are women, again, I don't like the comparison or nothing, but it was like watching them in the ring. I was like, yo, that was for me match of the year.
Yeah.
I love that.
Let's see. Said.
I'm gonna double down on what Honey said, just because I had to think about the moment where I was at exactly. It was morning time on the West Coast. That's WrestleMania weekend. And I was at the gym and I just kept I couldn't turn away from my phone just from what I was seeing with Oba, Dijak, and then Josh Briggs. That was so hard hitting. 3 very athletic men.
Big men too. Like there's not a lot of big men that can pull that agility off.
If I have to go off this list, that's probably my favorite match on that list.
Okay. Well, she is elite and she is here. Courtney, how are you?
I am doing good. I am.
Very, very good. So we are talking about the year-end awards for NXT, and we are currently looking at the nominees for match of the year. I'm not sure if you had a chance to hear through some of them, but did you have a pick on that one?
I did come late into the game for NXT, but I started watching halfway through the year and looking at some of the matches that did happen this year. There have been many, so many matches to choose from, but if I pretty much have to pick which one, I would have to go with the one at 2300 with that 10 women tag match. And also another added bonus, I'm actually going to put in Kalani Jordan and Fallon Henley at NXT Halloween Havoc, only because when I watched those two battle it out for that North American Championship, there was a lot of chemistry in that match. And also because this was definitely the year the women showed up for NXT. And also that 10 women tag match, I've watched the whole thing, and that was chaotic. 10 women in the same ring, but it was really an enjoyable. But those are my two picks for NXT.
I do got one honorary mention they didn't put in here, but Tatum Paxley and Wendy Chu's casket match.
Yes.
That was
a fun one.
Great fun.
Right. That was fun.
Mention.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Roxanne versus Julia didn't make this list. I'm surprised that Roxanne versus Jordan Grace didn't make this list. They were both great matches.
Valkyria.
Yeah.
It's hateration, holleration in this wrestling.
That's funny. That's funny. All right. Well, let's move to the next category, which is tag team of the year. The nominees are Nathan Frazier and Axiom, Metaphor, which is Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, Chase U, and Hank and Tank.
I went straight for the Meta Girls.
I'm
not gonna lie. I went straight for the Meta Girls.
Okay.
And I'm not doing this Fraxium thing with y'all. I'm not doing it. But Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend, the way they showed up and the way they were able to pull off double duty this year on SmackDown, and this showing that they both had, and not for nothing, yesterday, Jakara Jackson looked amazing, and she was absolutely killing it. I was so here for it. She did so good. And unfortunately, I had to watch late because, the Beehive didn't close till late, so I had to watch it on my DVR. But I was up till 2 a.m, and I actually thought that was like the match of the whole night last night.
They killed it. Your thoughts, Commissioner, on who should be counseling? I called you Commissioner. Councilman. I don't know if I upgraded you. I don't know, but Councilman, your thoughts on tag team of the year?
I want to pick these Meta Girls so bad.
You can.
He's gonna go with Fraxium.
Man, look, we've talked about Fraxium for like the last 7 months.
I'm
on dang near almost every episode on WWT Live. These boys have came up.
Not for nothing. Yesterday, their match gave me like anxiety because I was like, "What?"
Because I thought that was it. I really thought that was it.
I was hoping.
Man, Nah, man, you know what? Screw that. No, I'm going with the Meta Girls. As far as impact goes, I think they did have a bigger impact. To be able to go across all 3 brands, to be in a match with Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, and that's the top of their tag team division. Yeah, I'm going with the Meta Girls. Fraxium did great. Check all the boxes as a tag team. But the best one I gotta say is Meta, because we want them to go up now.
We do.
I literally like yesterday.
Yeah, I'm choosing Meta Girls. I'm choosing Metaphor.
Okay. Courtney.
Oh man, so many sex teams happening, but I am gonna go with Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson only because they made an impact when they came to the main roster. When they were on Crown Jewel in that Fatal 4-Way match, they really showed up. And especially when Lash Legend faced off against Piper Niven, while Bianca and Jade were sitting at ringside, she was not intimidated by the fact. And also, we did see a little glimpse of Lash Legend and Jade Cargill, but that'll happen somewhere in the future when they get to the main roster. But those ladies really did show up, and I did see the improvement that they have. I didn't see NXT last night, but I do plan on seeing it tomorrow through DVR. But they definitely created a lot of impact, especially getting into the main roster, being in the women's tag team division, and really have shown. And looking forward to what they have in stock in 2025.
Mayor.
I'm definitely concerned about this because why wasn't this moment of the year as well? Look at that's moment of the year right there. Okay.
That's great. That's great. That's great. Mayor?
Guys, what are we doing? What are we doing? Host a Halloween Havoc? Reality or wrestling tag team champions? Nobody's talking about Hank and Tank?
As the best? As the best?
I'm playing. I voted for Axiom. Fraxion's made me a believer, unfortunately. And they forced the rest of the tag team division to kind of step up, regardless of them being, I guess, still ascending. A lot of younger teams, things like that. Fraxium has kind of forced me to acknowledge them. And they were really the only tag team holding it down all year.
Acknowledge.
It's true, though, honey. It's true. We would have never got that tag team brawl like we got without Fraxium and them being champions. And we've seen how stale the championship for tag teams have been for a minute.
I just want chaos.
Yes, Dylan, they are. They are Raw tag team champions now.
Yeah, the Ring of Honor, or excuse me, the Reality of Wrestling tag team champions for sure. And how do we know the Meta Girls didn't attack Jade?
We don't.
It was Naomi. Dylan, I'll tell you. Well, no, I'll tell you this. There's really not a motive for Naomi or Bianca at this point, but we'll get into that on another show.
I know. I definitely know who got motive to do it, but
I do too. But it's all right. So now we get to the real fun here, and I kind of know what's going to happen, but let's get into it. Female Superstar of the Year, and the nominees are
we already know
Roxanne Perez, Lola Vice,
he's gonna go get the shirt.
Jada Parker, or Kalani Jordan.
Oh, he does. Oh, he's leaving because he doesn't want to pick.
Oh.
No, you already know. You know what his pick is.
You know that's a damn lie, Mayor. It's a lie.
It's obvious.
Stars in this list got merch. Only one of these supers got merch that's moving. You know.
Wow.
Hey man, my client's merch is moving in Connecticut. All right. Moving like hotcakes.
I will submit another vote for Jada Parker, but you guys already know. You guys already know.
How could you? But you gave that you. Man, he's. I love that he still goes on as if it never happened. Like he gave up his mayor position for a day over.
Let me remind you guys that Lola Vice is voted most improved by her coaches and her peers inside of NXT. So I mean, let the fans decide what they want, but the people inside the building said you got it.
So you're going with Lola Vice, yes?
Yeah, and I'll submit another vote for Jada Parker because honestly, she had her moments, but I'll vote twice.
Okay.
Oh,
Courtney,
Lord.
Female Superstar of the Year.
Oh. Normally, people would go with Roxanne and Lola, but I'm going to pick Kalani Jordan because Kalani had an impact this past year. She was the first North American NXT Women's Champion, and she had an incredible match. And anytime she steps in the ring, it's just like fireworks. Plus, she got to meet her idol, RVD, in a cute segment because one of the superstars she grew up with was RVD. And also seeing her just carry that belt and also seeing her stock increasingly grow. I mean, of course, she's not the reigning NXT Women's Champion, but she has put on a lot of good matches this year. And I do see the future is very bright for her. So I'm going with Kalani Jordan.
Okay. Let's see. Councilman.
You know, I'm not gonna hate on nobody's choice. You choose who you decide to choose. All I know is this: none of these women would be on this list if it wasn't for Roxanne Perez. Let's be okay, because one could have an argument. Kalani would not have been inaugural had Roxanne not done so great at being the NXT Women's Champion. They wouldn't have said we need a separate division. Just throwing that out there. Lola Vice, Pop Rock City got introduced, and she got put on the map. Jada Parker, after No Mercy, and replacing who? My client is now being seen everywhere, and now I'm trying to get me a Wingstop sponsorship. And none of this would have happened without my client, Roxanne Perez, doing what she's done. She broke the forbidden door of WWE, took out the juggernaut. Only 2 people this year has taken out the juggernaut.
Mm-hmm.
Julia, everybody been talking about. I'm not calling her what the mayor calls her. I almost did the beautiful madness.
Yeah, you did. You wanted to.
I was
you wanted to.
I was so
Oh Lord!
I'm
brought
scared.
her in, yo. I'm saying rebuilt the entire women's division and carried it on her back. Roxanne Perez is the women's superstar of the year, and I'm gonna say it, the greatest women's champion currently.
Mm.
Right now. But Jada Parker.
You mean if we had to choose between Nia, Roxanne, or Liv Morgan as who's the best women's champion in WWE right now, you pick Roxanne?
I mean,
I don't think he's wrong in saying that. I think
No. I just wanted him to clarify. Like, I'm not disagreeing at all.
Because Liv ain't had no bangers of matches like Roxanne. Nia Jackson's great, but she ain't had no bangers like Roxanne. She has been the best women's champion all year round.
Was that this year?
That
The World Star thing with Jada was this year?
This year.
Yep, this year.
Man.
This
Jada's
year.
had a hell of a year. I can't lie.
It has.
They all have.
She's had an
All
incredible
the
year.
Women's wrestling
Incredible
runs it.
year.
Yeah, she is. I call her the 6th man, the 6th woman in this particular case of NXT, because she is definitely. I don't even know. I guess you call it what, rising star, or what? I don't know what they call it in baseball, in the basketball terms, or the one of just like, yo, that's that next one right there.
Yeah, I love. Yeah, she's definitely the next level.
Yeah,
she's on her way already, because I enjoy watching Jada Parker.
Honey, do you have a pick for women's female superstar of the year?
I definitely do, and that is Roxanne Mother effing for Perez. She's had 41 matches this year and 31 wins. Okay, her winning percentage is real high. She's only lost 9 times this year, and she, like every single match she's on, she's top notch, and she's actually killing it. And I would have to agree with Councilman's point. A lot of women on this list wouldn't be on this list without Roxanne Perez. She started, once she got that title at Stand and Deliver, I knew from that moment on. I'm like, okay, here we go. It's the Roxanne ride. And
honey, let me put you on this Pereziac Christmas. Real sense right now.
See, Councilman, there are still so many things we do agree on. That's why we're a great tag team. We're better than Fraxio.
If I can sway you guys in the chat, I just want to point out that only one person on this list has her own specialty match.
Oh God, she won 2 of them. Yippee!
Is it her specialty match if she didn't make it?
It was given to her. It was given to her.
It was given to her.
It was technically given to her. Well,
because we've had the underground twice.
We had the underground
twice without her.
It wasn't moving. No units. They said, "Hey, this is yours."
You're gonna be real mad when Natalia comes back.
Oh Lord!
Stop bringing her up, man.
I bring her up every show.
You gonna make her win that title? Stop.
Golly! All right. Well, let's go quickly. Let's quickly go to the. Here's the thing. I really wish that they had like a breakout star of the year, because Jada Parker would win that hands down. Hands down. Yes. Honestly, I feel like if Roxanne didn't have the year she had, easily Jada Parker would win this award. And there's still an argument to be made that of these 4, Jada is the mainstream star. That's the people who know. They don't know Roxanne Perez, but they definitely know Jada Parker. All right, let's go to the male superstar of the year, which is the final category. And this ought to be interesting. Here we go. The nominees include Trick Williams, Obafemi, Tony D'Angelo, and Ethan Page.
It's crazy that he even made this list. It's crazy that he even made this list.
So my bad.
Oh, I don't know what just happened.
I'm surprised Javon Evans ain't on this list.
Javon Evans
too.
That's exactly what I mean. I don't know why Tony D's on this list and not Javon Evans.
Yeah.
I think to Professor's point, they should have definitely had like a breakout nominee. List.
Breakout woman, Jada Parker. Breakout male, Javon Evans.
For sure.
But male of the year,
the ruler.
Right.
I think we could all agree unanimously. Is it me or right, Professor? Right. Like I think like I love the strut that he does.
Me too. It's just perfect.
It's so fun.
Everybody's saying, "Oh, I voted differently." Actually,
if you say Tony D'Angelo, I'll get off this.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
In the whole show.
No,
I'm leaving.
Like, I was just thinking about the moments and the impact. I actually voted Ethan Page because since he jumped on the scene, he's been a focal point of the entire brand. Everything he's done has been a part of the main event scene. So I voted for Ethan Page for that exact reason. Okay. Now I know he wasn't here the whole year, but I guess in my mindset, I was just thinking of like more moments.
It's Obafemi. We all can agree. And
Boza, to answer your comment, they actually did. If you've watched the socials, Ava said that Trick Williams is still the NXT champion.
Yes, she did. She did. And that created an interesting scenario with one Eddie Thorpe and Shawn Michaels, which I guess we'll talk about very, very quickly. Courtney, your thoughts on who the male superstar of the year is in NXT?
I heard that chuckle.
Yeah, I'm laughing because it's just
Dylan's
angst of it all. Like,
it's like the anticipation's killing.
That's what you need. Yep.
Even though I started watching NXT late, there are been a few male superstars that have created an impact. I would have to go with Obafemi only because of his reign. And also, he really did a story. Now, I know everybody wants to drag on Tony D'Angelo, but him and Tony did have a rivalry that I low-key enjoyed. And he really did create an impact. I know he's going to create a bigger impact in 2025. And how can you not like his entrance when he comes out?
Tony?
No, Oba.
I was gonna say.
What?
I was
Did she say he gonna have an impact next year? Do you love his intro?
Oba.
That cup, Courtney.
Okay.
What you tipping on?
If she.
Yo,
I wasn't the only one thought that.
Oh man.
If she said Tony D'Angelo, I'd be like, what entrance? What intro?
No.
So like, what entrance did you talk
No.
I'm just playing with you, Courtney. But yeah, no. Oh, but yeah, of course we do.
Okay.
I mean,
That was funny.
Oh, okay. I thought she had more. She's sipping on her juice with no gin. Got it. All right. So now, speaking of NXT, last night, what a moment from Ethan Page onto Javon Evans.
Wow.
I don't know if everybody kind of caught all of the things that happened in this segment, but there was a lot. If you will look, the outfit that Ethan Page wore was the exact same color scheme and idea of what Shawn Michaels wore when he came into that very venue and said he lost his smile.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they took 3 weeks to lead up to that is brilliant.
Cinema.
I mean.
And
then Javon Evans, you know, with that heartfelt moment, and then good Lord, his poor teeth. Just man, that was not pretty.
yeah.
I wasn't buying any of it for a second. I was like, Ethan Page, you a damn lie, and I know it. I know you are full of crap. And once he said the lose my smile thing, I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now-
When he
now-
said that, I literally popped.
And
I
I'm
was
just like,
"Ah."
you know what? Fine. Way to take a classic and reiterate it or redo it. But I was more so worried about who would be the one getting fished and suckered in and taking the bait. And once I saw it was Javon Evans, I'm like, oh, this poor young man, he's about to get dropped in the worst way. You could just see Ethan Page ready to rage, like with everything he was saying, as much as he was playing it off. But he did really well playing it off, but I wasn't buying it. But I can't believe this happened. That was a little bit. I really can't unsee this. I really can't unsee this moment. And it was just like a lot. And then when I went online and saw the how they also do like extra behind the scenes videos on the WWE socials, when I saw that one, I was like, oh, change, swipe, because I was just like, that's a lot. But I hope he recovers well. I hope he gets some kind of revenge, because this was just dead wrong. And this is going to create an amazing character arc for Javon Evans when he returns. And mind you, Trick Williams just said speedy recovery and well wishes. Meanwhile,
and then he went straight to Eddie Thorpe. That was
meanwhile. I guess Javon is just chopped liver after hooking up with you earlier in the year and being a partner for you and everything. But
nah, that's what happens when you go getting grown folks' business. See, this is a problem right here. He needs to start acting like he's from the streets where he really from. You let him do this. You let Wes slap the taste out your mouth. You need to step it up. You need to stop being so bouncy, start being slappy, is what you need to do. Because ever since Wes slapped the crap out of you, everybody been giving you crap. Like you ain't supposed to get no respect. And this is what you get for going out there and messing with a dude that's having a midlife crisis. Why would you go out there to go talk to Ethan Page? All right. We could have got bum ass Ethan and you ruined it. All right. I want a dirty shirt, Ethan Page, walking around NXT, and we were deprived because of you. But when your blood spat out, I was like, Javon needs an award. Javon needs an award.
Sold it.
And again, the words of Roman, cinema.
Another point I want to make. I just know that also wasn't, if I remember correctly, didn't Ethan Page and Javon Evans go through their type of beef earlier in the year? Didn't Ethan Page like jump him, or he jumped no, that was Rich Holland. Never mind.
I think they had like a number one contendership match.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I was thinking of Rich Holland when they had backstage segment, but never mind. This is definitely going to be long-term storytelling, though.
Yo, that's crazy how Rich Holland has just disappeared after that match with Trick.
It's that whack-ass theme music.
He was on the I don't know if y'all saw the socials with the questions, but he's on there. They were asking everybody what their secret hidden talent is, and I gotta press Ava because my client Jada Parker shouldn't have been outed for that. So we'll address that in court.
Yes, she should have. Yes, she should have. Thank you, Ava. Thank you. Let me put on this Parisiac Christmas card.
Oh my goodness.
Definitely need to be thanked.
From there, we had the NXT Championship match, Eddie Thorpe battling Trick Williams. It ended in controversial fashion with both of their shoulders on the mat. It ended in a draw where the championship went to Trick Williams. What were your thoughts on this match? Courtney, let's start with you.
I'm going to be really honest. I did not.
Oh, you haven't seen it. That's right.
I have not.
No, you said it earlier. I forgot. Yeah. That's my bad. That's my bad.
No, that's okay.
Honey, what did you think of this match?
I didn't like it. I don't know. I didn't even like the way Eddie Thorpe went into how he got this match. I'm not sure what game he's playing here, or trying to weasel your way in after you've spoken many times about being from an honorable tribe and things like that. I'm just like, it's just the two-facedness of it all. So I didn't really I just left a poor taste in my mouth for me personally with Eddie Thorpe. I'm not sure what the angle was or what they were trying to achieve with that. Maybe I missed it, but Yeah, I wasn't too pleased with the ending. I kind of, obviously left everything confused. And of course, if you saw on socials, they were able to figure everything out. But I don't know. For lack of better words, I guess I'm just not feeling it. I just wasn't feeling it. It was a decent match for me, not the best match.
Okay. Said.
I actually haven't seen this match yet. I've only seen what
Okay.
I've seen on socials. I'm just so confused as to what Eddie Thorpe is now, because for weeks he was a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even saying that to be funny. He
it's just what you think about.
Music around the arena. Like I don't know what we're doing.
He's not a DJ anymore. That's for sure. Councilman.
Outside of the match that Trick had with Pete Dunne, featuring NXT Bonnerfide, this is probably Trick's second best match that he's had. What? If you go watch this, Eddie Thorpe, had a good match. Match wise, I was intrigued. I was still in it. I was like, And then from what you had said, some professor, of like how Trick needs like other seasoned veterans to kind of give him that style and stuff like that. I was starting to see, even with Eddie Thorpe, not saying he's like seasoned or nothing like that, but I was like, this match was actually pretty good. And it just could be that I had a very low bar for it. But I enjoyed the match itself. Now the ending, I was just like, okay. I would have rather him just pinned Eddie Thorpe clean. Like I think when he kept doing the kick, going back and then came and hit trick shot, I think that'd have been great for 1, 2, 3. Would have continued Eddie's story a little bit more as his heel tactic, and would have been a great solid win for Trick. But I think just the ending is what kind of takes away from the rest of the match, which was pretty solid. But yeah, I don't know. It didn't push the needle for Trick Williams' NXT title right now. I will say that.
Nothing. I don't know. Nothing's gonna beat him versus Ilya for me, honestly. I think, and Mello. If it ain't Ilya or Mello, I feel like, But Oba could change that. Oba's definitely gonna change that.
I have an Oba question connected to this, but I'll say it this way. Sometimes issues with chemistry happen. Sometimes, certain venues do certain things with you. It didn't feel in general like everyone felt comfortable in that venue. And I don't know if it was the weight of the history in that venue. I don't know if it's because it was a colder environment there in Boston or in that area. But there were a couple of moments that did not execute, and they were obvious that they didn't execute.
Yeah.
And I was surprised at some of the moments that happened in the Trick and Eddie Thorpe match. I was very, very surprised by that, and it stuck out to me, and it made the ending weird. So let me ask this question. Given what has already been said about Trick Williams and, kind of looking for the match in his title reign that I don't know that we've gotten yet, given what we've seen with Obafemi, and we didn't even get into what Obafemi and the tag team champions ultimately did throughout the night, what kind of match should we, and when I say what kind of match, I don't necessarily mean stipulation wise, but at New Year's Evil, Oba versus Trick, should this be, a lengthy match? Should this be a short, dominant match? Should it be somewhere in the middle? What do you think we should get from this Oba Trick match? Honey, I'll start with you.
I would like a little bit of both. They've been holding out on having Trick and Oba on purpose for the sake of this, I think, for making it a big moment, and it's finally here. I would really like a little bit of both. I don't think Oba I don't think it should be too easy for Oba to just over dominate Trick. And then also, I don't think it should be easy for Trick, being that Oba is such a grand obstacle in his way. And this is someone who's very hungry and determined and who lost one title and is wanting to go into the era with another one. So look like Oba's about to have a second Male of the Year award going into 2025 if he's kicking it off as such. But
Okay.
I think I would like a little bit of both. I just need some really good action. I don't really care about the stipulation. We already know what's at stake. Just make it good, because this was something that we've been waiting for, and you want to make it worth it.
Okay. Councilman, what kind of, I mean, do you think we should have a lengthy match? Do you think it should be a very quick match? Do you think it should be somewhere in the middle?
I'm leaning 3/4 into a longer match.
Okay.
I think just because of how long we've been waiting, to Honey's point. And I would like to see if Oba's gonna win. I want to see Trick attempt to climb that mountain, but not only that, I don't want it to be easy for Oba. Like, I want him to at least hit him with what it is, the power bomb, and then Trick kicks out. At least get a triple round of the specials going. Like, I at least need to see 3 Trick shots and 3 of Oba Femi specials before we declare a winner. I just think it also makes Trick look good as a champion, especially with the now thoughts in my head that you gave, Professor, of him going up to Raw. I think not a lengthy match, but kind of in between, like you said, that middle and the lengthy, kind of right in there. I think just to make a great solid match.
Okay. Any thoughts on that, Mayor?
I know. I think it should be like, it should feel like a squash. It should feel like Trick had no idea how, like, everything Oba was saying about his entire reign. It's like, only because I allowed it. We should really lean into that. We should really lean into that. Like, he should have no answers for Oba. We should be out of here in 5 minutes or less, and really paint the image that Trick either doesn't believe his own hype for a while. Because remember, the chase is always better. And since we're still doing this thing with Trick where there's naysayers and doubters to the point where he's saying it on television now, he's saying that he wants to prove his doubters wrong. We should lean into that storyline where it's like, I have to get back to the basics where I can beat this ruler. This guy, maybe I'm not as good as I think I am. We got to remember that I don't think this, if Oba becomes champion in the new year, I don't think it'll be a long title reign, because he was already internally moved to the main roster as it is. But I think this makes Trick look really good on his way out if Oba wins and Trick has to overcome that. It allows us to actually believe in him. And if that means 3 title Trick, so be it. But I think Oba should get his shine a little bit, and it should look rather dominant, like the rest of his entire NXT run so far.
Okay. All right. All right. Very quickly, because I did not realize how late it was. We just have had a fun time all together. Congratulations to Athena. Today she celebrates 2 years as the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. That's 730 days, folks. That is extremely impressive. Even more impressive that she will main event Final Battle this Friday at the Hammerstein Ballroom, taking on Billy Starks. You'll remember, I believe they actually main evented last year's Final Battle, if my memory serves me right. What I do know for sure is this will be the first women's main event in Ring of Honor inside of the Hammerstein Ballroom. So that's going to be exciting. That's happening this Friday night. Happy birthday to Stone Cold Steve Austin. I still can't believe the number I saw. 60.
Yeah.
60.
It just hit me because I went on Instagram and saw a video of him working out, man. But still to be able in such great shape. Good.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing.
When Steve smiles, we all smile.
Yes, we do.
Exactly.
It's very rare you see him smiling. Look at his photo.
So congratulations to Stone Cold. All right, a look at tonight's Holiday Bash, AEW Dynamite. I know this is Courtney's expertise, and you'll be able to hear her sing all of the praises, which, by the way, did y'all hear her sing on her Instagram?
First of all, yes.
I did.
Yes.
Ma'am. You did not let us know you had the buffalo like that girl.
I did. Kept that hiding, and I will say I did it when I was because I've been battling a very bad cold since yesterday, so I don't even know how I was able to pull that off.
See, and y'all thought she was drinking gin and stuff. That's a hot
A
toddy.
tea.
That has bourbon in it, doesn't it?
No,
It's
no
still
bourbon.
liquor.
No.
I think you missed the whole point of what we said with that.
God.
So, Holiday Bash tonight, the TNT Championship up for grabs. Mercedes Moné against Anna Jay. We will also hear from FTR from Asheville, North Carolina, where Fight for the Fallen will take place in 2 weeks' time. That will be a live simulcast on TBS and on Max, the first one. Again, I think it's kind of neat of them to try to jump in there and get their streaming moment happening before the Netflix moment happens. Not mad at that at all. We'll also hear not just from FTR, but MJF and any other three letters we can hear from.
MJF, CEO, FTR.
LOL. So there'll also be a tag team match here. Nick Wayne and Christian Cage against Hook and Katsuyori Shibata. From there, we'll also have, listen, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the Continental Classic, but the Continental Classic, I legitimately feel like is one of the best things AEW has done. It was great last year. It is fantastic again this year. Tonight, we see Will Ospreay against Darby Allin. That's crazy. Shelton Benjamin and the Beast Mortos. That's all going down. And then I hear that this Saturday night, we get another rematch, and this time it's happening inside the Continental Classic. Will Ospreay and Ricochet in the Continental Classic Saturday night. Should be good times for all. And in case you didn't know, and I'll make sure we reiterate it. Oh, yeah, sorry. Trios match as well. John Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, and Pac taking on Jay White, Orange Cassidy, Hangman Adam Page. Really, I have no problem acknowledging that Dynamite has been giving us some really solid cards front to back over these last few weeks. Well, that part.
It's on this, but like, you know, we want these cards on the pay-per-view, Tony.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, give us a great story. Like, give us a great story. That's really what we want. Stories that we can sink our teeth into. Like, for instance, we still don't know why we haven't seen the actual world championship belt since John Moxley has won it. It's just being carried around right now in a briefcase. We don't know if the belt's actually in there. I'd like to know who, if anybody, the Death Riders are working for, because they alluded that they were working for somebody. Don't know. I don't know. And I will say this only because I saw somebody bring this up. If you'll remember, the debut episode of Dynamite 5 years ago was in Washington, D.C. at the name has changed several times. It was the Verizon Center at one time. I'm not sure what it's being called right now, but it's where the Capitals play, the Washington Capitals, and the basketball team, the hockey team, and they filled that space up. It was a good 17,000 people.
Wow.
Tonight, they're going to be in an arena that seats 2,500.
Oh.
For their last live Dynamite of the year.
And they have all of this going on?
And this stacked card.
And still Mercedes is not the main event?
Apparently not.
Nope.
Though I will tell you this, and I have to still finish watching this, Mercedes match over the weekend defending her New Japan Strong Championship was the main event of that card, and they're saying it's one of the greatest women's matches we've ever seen.
Her and Mina went at it.
Yes, so I'll be watching that. I'm gonna finish watching that hopefully tonight, and so I look forward. I look forward to that. All right. With all of that said, I want to again offer congratulations to our friends at All Caribbean Wrestling on the big TV deal. We'll be counting down to that March the 1st on Tempo Networks. You can actually download the mobile app for All Caribbean Wrestling right now. It's available on iOS. soon to be available on Roku and for Android. And it will be there if you are not among the 24 Caribbean islands who get Tempo Network. It is there where you can watch Saturday Night Vibe debuting March the 1st. Really excited about that. And if you go on the app, you'll see some great action. You'll see an interview with TK and Mark Henry. All of our previous content is there. So check all of that out on All Caribbean Wrestling. And hey, if you have Tempo on cable, because there are some stations in the there's some areas in the United States that has Tempo, you'll be able to watch it that way as well. So that'll be fun also. All right, here's how you can reach out to us on these good social spaces. Ced.
You can find me on Twitter at says, on the gram, says the answer, on this platform throughout the week. Yeah, cedricwelton.com. I got nothing else to promote.
All right, Councilman.
You can find me at We Have the Wings on all socials. And make sure you follow me on YouTube and Twitch. Just the regular handle. Will Pharaoh, PHARAOH. There. Gotta keep it balanced.
I just caught that. Jesus. Lord help me, honey. Oh, that's great, Jeffrey. That's great. Jeffrey's from the British Virgin Islands.
Oh, dope.
This is awesome.
Woo!
Yeah, we have 24. Oh, wait. You're currently in the British Virgin Islands, Jeffrey? That's actually awesome. If I read that right, that's really awesome.
Yeah. And shout out to Dylan too for on his recovery and stuff. He is back.
Yes. Welcome back home, Dylan. We are glad to. Dylan, oh Lord. All right. Honey, how can we find you?
You can find me at I'm just happy to be here. And all you can find me here Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays here with the WWT Live crew. Every Friday, you already know we have our Honey Night Smackdown, 2 hours of the sweetest wrestling talk that you could experience. We also have everything Wrestling with Honey podcast, YouTube, Wrestling with Honey TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that good jazz.
We love to see it. And indeed, Jeffrey has confirmed he is indeed in the British Virgin Islands. How awesome is that?
Nice.
Man? For sure. Well, I will be very interested in your thoughts, of course, when we premiere on Tempo. I'd love to get your input, your ideas, whatever you think about it. We're really excited about that. That is super, super cool. Courtney, how can the people find you?
They can always find me here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You know, the top of the hour, we have a holiday bash for AEW. Kicking off, as they announced it, the TBS championship between Mercedes Moné and Anna Jay is going to kick off the holiday bash. And feel free to bring your ugly Christmas sweater. Feel free to bring some tea because there will be a lot of action in the next 2 hours. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram on @CourtneyNJ11, where I posted a preview of tonight's holiday bash. So feel free to come out and take a time travel to Storm Zero Central or Cassidyville tonight, and we're gonna have some fun.
Oh boy, baby, it's cold outside.
My.
He's dreaming of a trombone Christmas.
Oh my god.
There was something I'm doing really good today because if I said that one, y'all would have said you've been hanging out with TK too long. So
oh man, I don't want you to say it.
We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that.
Damn
it. So you can find me across all the social spaces at bonnerfide. You can check out my work with Ashe Wrestling at ashewrestling.com, which, by the way, probably a good time if you'll remember this. January 9th, mark that date down, as Ashe Wrestling on their YouTube channel will be launching Ashe Wrestling TV. It'll be a 30-minute episodic show that will give you the opportunity to get caught up with all things Ashe from the very beginning. So you can certainly check that out. In addition, of course, you can check out all of our shows at ashewrestling.com. Of course, can check out what we're doing at All Caribbean Wrestling, allcaribbeanwrestling.com, on the socials. There's been all sorts of news of signings to All Caribbean Wrestling, so you can check that out on our social space as well. Again, March 1st is the big date we're getting ready for our premiere on Tempo Networks. Then you can check me out on Southern Honor. We just dropped a show today, actually, on IWTV, so you can go ahead and check that out. You can check out my work with IWE on IWTV as well. Had a show last night with the Nightmare Factory for Student Showcase 16, so you'll be able to check that out when that drops, and I'll let you know about that. And I think that's everything for me. Women's Wrestling Talk, the website is www.talkpod.com. That is also where you can find the social spaces. There's new merch that's coming, since all there's talk about merch. There's also a new website that's coming. And of course, as you know, in just at the top of the hour, we will have our watch along for all things Elite and the Holiday Bash. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys are absolutely amazing. We are highly appreciative of your kindness, your consideration, and for rocking with us. Now, I don't know if TK will be back on Friday. I'll have to double check. And I'm not fully sure what next week will look like. Of course, a week from today is Christmas, so we will not obviously have a show on Christmas Day. And yeah, so we'll have to find out. If TK is here, it might be story time, but we'll see.
Who's ready for story time with Professor?
Hey, hold on now. Wait a minute.
We'll see. We'll see. But
We should
until
do
then,
the Shield thing on Friday too.
what's this?
The
We should
best
do the Shield thing.
Friday might be a good day for that. Might be a good day for that. We also need to do a year in review kind of show.
And she also said she wanted to do an award too, the WWT awards. So I know she said
She loves a good award.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
All right.
That wasn't supposed to come out. Sorry.
Yo,
I'm gonna fight all these urges, my brother.
the story behind that statement, because
I need it. I need it.
Professor caught himself because there was another sentence about to come out.
I was. Because the way he even said it, though, way she like a war, like
We all went in. We all leaned in.
Oh,
Wait, let me guess. Wait. Was it the 6 with the 416 award?
Oh my god!
it definitely got to be a category.
Boss lady, I love you. Boss lady, I love you. Boss lady, I love you, and I love to be here. I'm just.
Oh man!
All right. That's probably time for us to go ahead and get out of here. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Stick tight. Top of the hour. We got the Holiday Bash. All of the things. We'll see you next time. It's WWT Live, part of Women's Wrestling Talk. We're the #1 Women's Wrestling Network.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.